Welcome everyone. It's great to see that so many people joined this book launch webinar today. It is a really special webinar for me because I'm not just sharing a book with you, but a resource where I have recorded all my best knowledge that I've acquired about self-publishing over the last 10 years. In this webinar, I would therefore like to not only present my book, but also explain why I felt it was necessary to write a book. You can look forward to input on self-publishing. I will share something about my own self-publishing journey. And at the end, I will, of course, present the book and show you how you can get a copy yourself. At the very end, we will also have a Q&A session where you can ask all your questions about the book or publishing in general. But before we get to that, let's start with some background information. Who am I? Most of you will already know me, so I'll keep it short. My name is Peter. I've been self-publishing for over 10 years now. And during this time, I published over 1,600 books when including translations. And my KDP account has generated over $5 million in royalties. If you include other platforms such as Ingram Spark, the figure would be even higher. Now, before publishing, I had many different jobs. For a while, I worked in a fish factory in Norway. Every day I stood at the assembly line and I did the same hand movements, 12 hours a day, always the same movements. And when my salary was cut there and there was nothing I can do about it, I decided to quit everything and focus entirely on business. Leaving that life behind was my main motivation when I started publishing. Then 2.5 years ago, I started YouTube. My goal was to find other self-publishers who were at my or a similar level. And my videos were therefore mostly about mindset, strategy, and more advanced topics, as I primarily wanted to address these advanced publishers. Until then, I had primarily published on my own. I knew almost no one else who was also a self-publisher. And that worked well for many years, but it was quite lonely. And that's why I was looking for sparring partners and people with whom I could mastermind. And thanks to YouTube, I found them over the last years, and I've grown as a self-publisher myself. Over time, more and more motivated beginners have also taken a liking to my videos, which of course makes me very happy. If you want to dive right into self-publishing, I think you can enjoy my videos even as a beginner. And then about 18 months ago, I founded DPE. So DPE is a self-publishing network and community. We are best known for our large live events around the world. The next one being in London in April with an expected 100 to 140 self-publishers. In addition to the events that are open to anyone who wants to buy a ticket, DPE is also a closed community with many advanced publishers. Many earn an average of 5 figures a month, some even over 6 figures, with some having already achieved a 200,000 or even 300,000 royalties in a single month. And these are not ordinary successes. It takes a lot of effort and it's very challenging to achieve such figures. I don't really care about mentioning the numbers. I only mention them so you understand that we are a serious elite groups of self-publisher. And this is important to explain the reason why I wrote the book in the first place. And with that, we can continue right away. So why did I feel that it was necessary to write a book? Let's take a look at today's self-publishing market. Competition is getting tougher. Amazon is starting to block books that use review sites. Amazon ads are becoming more expensive, leaving us publishers with less and less. And more self-publishing coaches are popping up, wanting to compensate for their own publishing failures by teaching others how to do it right. And every week it feels like a new AI comes out that makes book creation, cover design, and much more easier and cheaper than everyone and for everyone. So instead of spending $500 to $2,000 on a ghostwriter, you can now create a book with AI for a few $100s. Whether that is good or bad quality remains to be seen, but it is increasingly moving in this direction. We ourselves are working on a software that will significantly simplify book creation. Andrey from DPE is working with a team of developers on a writing software that will revolutionize high quality book creation in the future. If you're interested, you can sign up for the waiting list via the link we're now sharing in the chat. But my point is this: self-publishing is changing faster than ever before. Every few months, there are changes that scare many people and reshuffle the rules. Coaching is therefore outdated faster than ever before. To stay up to date, coaches would have to take or retake self-publishing courses every 2 to 3 months, but most people are too lazy to do that. A book has exactly the same problem. If I were to fill it in with every new hype strategy, I would have to update it every few months. Nevertheless, I decided that a book makes the perfect sense and will definitely help everyone here with their publishing business. What I've learned over the last 10 years, and especially in the last 2 years, is the basics that do not change. Yes, the strategies change on the surface, the tools change, the niches continue to evolve, but the fundamental foundation remains the same. There's still fiction and non-fiction, low, medium content and high content. It's still about brand building. You still need reviews. You still need covers that are better than the competitions. You still need to create a high quality book to retain customers and their loyalty to your brand in the long term, today even more than before. And you still need to hire freelancers and build a team to scale, even with AI, which helps your team to be more efficient. All these things have remained the same over the years, and these are exactly the things I address in my book. I don't share niche recommendations that will be obsolete in 3 months. I don't share ad strategies that won't work next year. I don't recommend AI that will soon be replaced by something better. I don't say that low, medium, or high content is better, because that can change again in a few months. Instead, I teach you how to find all of that out for yourself. The book teaches you the niche research from the ground up, how market research works, why it's not just about numbers in Helium 10 or Bookbeam, but about market understanding, target group understanding, and competitor analysis. It shows you how to position your books according to the market situation to make them unique, how to create and test covers so that you can verify before launch whether you are better than the competition, how to develop and test Amazon ads and Facebook ads yourself so that you can place successful ads yourself without having to rely on YouTube tips, and how to hire help for book production, or how to create books yourself with AI and find out for yourself which AI makes sense to create the highest quality book. It also shows you my 4 strategies for getting real people to review your books, and how I developed these strategies and why they have worked for me for years, while most other publishers still struggle with reviews. The book helps you become a publisher who not only follows strategies, but understands them and can develop them yourself. And I feel that this is something that is currently missing in the market, not coaching that teaches hype strategies that may even work incredibly well this year, but don't work in the long run. Instead, a solid foundation that will last you forever. And since there is currently no such thing, I decided to write a book and make this fundamental knowledge available to everyone. So that's why I think it's important that there is a book like this about self-publishing. But what exactly do I get out of it? Why am I the one who needed to create this book? Of course, I also have a vested interest in this book. I wouldn't have invested 10 months if I wasn't going to get anything out of the book. Nobody would have. The obvious thing is it won't come from the income from the sales. Book about self-publishing, that's a relatively poor niche on Amazon, and I have at least 50 books in my portfolio that sell better than this one will. If I had invested the time it took me to create this book in other books, I would have probably earned 10 to 20 times as much as in royalties. So what else is my intention with this book? I want to be completely open with you here. I deliberately did not hold back with this book. I share thoughts and methods on self-publishing that I've never shared publicly before. The book is intended to explain all the basics in an understandable way for beginners, as well as show very advanced publishers, among other things, how I hired my managers and built teams of dozens of people. Knowledge like this normally costs thousands of dollars, not $19.99 for a paperback, but that's exactly what's important to me. I want this book to be worth 100 times more than the price you pay for it. I want anyone who reads the book to never have to buy KDP coaching again because they already know everything they need to know. And in this way, I want to show you how advanced the knowledge we have accumulated at DPE is. As I mentioned in the beginning, I founded the self-publishing network DPE with the intention of surrounding myself with other high-level publishers. My goal is simple. Those who are at a certain level in their publishing journey read the book, they are impressed, they understand how advanced we are, and then they decide to participate in one of our DPE Mastermind events or become a DPE member. So no big marketing campaigns, no sales pitches, simply good content. That's what DPE stands for. My book is intended to give you the opportunity to experience for yourself how we think at DPE so that you can then decide whether it's a community like DPE, whether that is right for you. When founding DPE, I deliberately decided against turning it into a coaching program because I never saw myself as a coach. I'm a member of DPE myself and learned just as much from the others as they learn from me. And since its founding, I have been able to make my own publishing business even stronger. So if you like the knowledge in the book and it really helps you, I would be delighted to meet you in person at one of our events or welcome you to DPE. But now let's move on to the most important question from the entire webinar. What do you get out from buying and reading the book? I've already talked about this to make my other points clear, but now here it is again in concrete terms. What will you learn in the book? How to do niche research the right way. Most publishers, they think niche research is just looking for numbers in helium-10, and that is why they create identical books to their competition and fail. I teach you my Evergreen niche analysis method, how to look at a niche, identify your competitors' weak points, and enter the market only when you know you can win. The advantages and disadvantages of different publishing strategies, how you can make the right decision about which one is better for you. There are various approaches to self-publishing. First, there are fiction and nonfiction, the two major categories. Nonfiction can be further divided into low, medium, and high content. In addition to this subdivision, there is a quantitative and qualitative approach to launching books. All of these methods influence each other, and different publishers use different approaches. In the book, I explain how to make the right decision for yourself, which approach makes most sense for you, and how to combine different approaches. And the difference between a keyword title and a concept title, and why concept title will dominate the market in the next couple of years. Amazon now optimizes primarily for sales. You don't rank for a keyword because you have the keyword 7 times in the title and the description, but because Amazon sees that your book has sold multiple times using that keyword. The market is changing in such a way that the title must appeal to the customer above all else. The more people buy your book, the higher your ranking, even if your keyword isn't in the title at all. How to outsource efficiently and build a team. One of the most valuable things you can do in your publishing business is building a team you can rely on. And most of my business is automated, not because of AI or technical automations, but because I have people who are full-time working on books for me. I even have a manager who manages all my freelancers. And to find and train and keep reliable people is one of the best things you will learn inside the book. How I solve the review problem. Reviews are the biggest bottlenecks for 99% of publishers. I don't teach you hacks that later get your books banned. Instead, I teach you what has worked for me for years and how you can use and develop your own review strategies to never ever have to use a review website again. And how to write sales copy to sell your book on your product page. Almost no one else talks about how to write sales copy for KDP books. Most people generate their descriptions and banners for their A+ content using AI instead of writing sales copy that really touches the reader and actually sells the book. That's why there's an entire chapter in the book dedicated solely to copywriting. The fundamentals of Amazon and Facebook ads for book marketing. While campaign types are constantly changing, there are fundamentals that always remain the same. The aim of this book is to show you these fundamentals so that no matter how the market develops in the future, you are well prepared and can develop new ad strategies yourself to market your books with both Amazon and Facebook ads. How to create assets, not just cash flow. Most people publish for quick money. I teach you how to build a publishing business that has real equity. I show you how to structure your business so that one day, if you want to, you can sell it for a potentially life-changing amount of money because you built a real business, not a house of cards based on the latest loophole. And those were just 8 of the 12 pillars I wrote about in the book. But I don't want to give everything away. Some things in the book should be a surprise. If you would like to purchase the book now, you can find it on Amazon, just like any other KDP book. We will share the link in the live stream chat here on Zoom and on YouTube. If you order the book now, you will receive an AI trained by us with the content of the book in addition to the book.
Guys, if you have questions regarding the book, feel free to go ahead and post them in the Q&A tool. Are AI tools covered in the book? Yes, there's a whole chapter on AI. Fair enough and honest, how much strategies, secrets does this book hold back from what you share in actual DPE program? Does it contain 20%, 50%? I think from my personal experience, yeah.
Share it because I was like the main test reader for Peter of the book, and I'm one of the first DP members, so I see both. And it's important to understand that, I hope you can hear me well. My microphone, I think, isn't that great, but it's important to understand that DPE isn't the classical coaching. You don't get a step-by-step video course. DPE is really mainly community. That means each member can add their own content. Each member can create their own video series with their expertise, share what they know, and other community members learn by them. Peter has a video series or multiple actually, and that's similar to a course, but it's not the KDP coaching that you buy and have. That's how you create a book step by step. It's not that. It's more, we have one course, or I think 2 about niche research. We have 1 about Amazon ads, 1 about Facebook ads, 1 about reviews. It's in topics separated in video series, but it's not really a course. And the main dynamic of DP is the community. So the people interact with each other. They answer questions with each other. They help practical. Some share their books and get detailed feedback to their books. So in terms of content, it's more that dynamic and the connection to the people than the knowledge that you get. You, of course, get knowledge, but it's not mainly Peter's knowledge. It's the knowledge from all these different publishers, because everybody has his own strategy of publishing. And that's the valuable thing about DPE. But in terms of content, and I read the book multiple times that Peter wrote, because I also read it when he was writing it. I read it when he was writing it multiple times and gave him feedback and so on. So I know a lot of the chapters back and forward. And the knowledge inside the book is extremely in-depth, and it's like a course. It's way more like a course than DPE is a course. It's really structured. It's something for beginners because it's all the strategies are explained, different kinds of strategies, how to decide which strategy makes sense. It's also goal setting in the beginning. I don't know which chapter exactly Peter wrote that, but one of the first chapters is about the goal setting that you want to achieve with this book, depending on if you're advanced or a beginner. So it's really practical. It's really helping you achieving something practical. As I said, it's way more like a coaching than DPE is. So I think it's perfect for that manner, and that the content is great. I learned so much from it, especially on my level in terms of managing people, hiring the right freelancers, giving test tasks, and understanding how freelancers work. You sometimes maybe too complicated. You see it in the book. There's great graphics where you see that you maybe only need one proofreader, but one proofreader can have 4 ghostwriters that give him the content. So you need multiple freelancers to have one process that's really efficient. Maybe it was too complicated to explain without the image, but I have it in my mind, and it's really great for I think anyone on every level. There's something to learn from the book. It's really practical. I hope that makes sense. Maybe you can agree or say something, Peter, or add to that.
Yeah, I think that was a great response. It's like you said, DP is a culmination of many different publishers and strategies. I would say that the book, I don't think I'm holding things back. That's not, I wasn't holding anything back when I wrote it, so you'll find great strategies there. So, yeah.
Okay, let's continue on the questions. Is this book 100% practical based on how you actually run your self-publishing? I think the last answer that Andrey gave pretty sums it up. It also includes that, I would say.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to know where to click for how to format the book, then yes, I think that's better to watch via video, and we have free video lessons on that in school, so you won't get things like that. The purpose of the book is to show you how to think about your publishing business and how to not just publish a book, but win with the books you publish.
Okay, what content strategies, low content, medium content, high content, do you cover and recommend in the book? Focus on beginner or advanced?
The focus of the book is for everyone. So I think beginners will understand. I think advanced people will have an easier time to grasp everything, but I think for beginners, it's a really strong head start. In terms of medium content, low content, high content, I personally do high content, but inside DP, we have many publishers who have better results with medium content. So it really depends on where your strength lies. If you are great with design or you understand medium content easier than high content, then go with medium content. And otherwise, go with high content. I understand high content better. Warren Buffett says, invest in what you understand. So that's a great way to think about it.
One person is asking, sorry, we need to buy the book on the Amazon.com market, right? Is it possible to buy DE and L? Yes, it doesn't matter on which Amazon market. So you can buy in your local market. Did you want a screenshot of the purchase, or do you want me to forward the Amazon confirmation email? Best both, preferably the screenshot. I think it's harder to manipulate, but what do you think, Andrey? Amazon confirmation email?
Both is really hard to manipulate, to be honest.
Okay.
Both is fine. How I do with my test readers, both is completely fine. Most of the time, they just send a screenshot of the page that comes immediately after you clicked on the buy button.
Yeah. But are there in the book any strategies for starting a team, even with a small budget? The problem with many startups is that they don't have enough budget to cover all the costs of graphics, reviews, and ads. I think with the philosophy that is taught in the book, it's also possible to build teams on a smaller budget. Yeah.
But if you don't have a big budget, you have to look at what is because you can't invest in everything. So what would be the best thing to invest in? And if you can create the books yourself, you're saving a lot of money there. Now, there are certain things now that, of course, we have an advantage in terms of AI, even book cover creation. If you were to ask me 1 year ago, I wouldn't recommend creating covers yourself. Now with AI, you can. So I think in many regards, if you don't have the money, do as much as you can yourself, and then slowly start hiring for those easier tasks where you might pay a VA $5 an hour to do book formatting or data entry, repetitive work, and then you're relieving some of the time and you're able to focus on higher leverage activities. So it's a personal situation. Where are your strengths? Where are your weaknesses? And what do you enjoy doing? What do you not enjoy doing? How much of your budget do you need to allocate towards ads, etc.?
I see a couple of questions about PublishFlow software by Andrey.
Okay.
Maybe we can jump to that. Also, if you guys interested in the software, you can find the link on the answered tab in the Q&A section. At the top, you can switch to answered. I see PublishFlow creates illustrations. Does it also create covers? Yes, we are actively working on creating a cover creation tool in it. Also, sooner or later, it will include a A+ content module. I think I can spoil that, or did I spoil it too much here?
Yeah, I mean, I think in this smaller circle here, it's okay, but we don't share everything publicly. The main wish behind PublishFlow, so the end goal would be to have every step of self-publishing in one place. So starting at the niche research, then you create the title of the book, the description, the outline, then you write the entire book, you fact check it, you proofread it, you format it, you export it, you create the cover, you publish it on Amazon, you then create the A+ content, the video ads, so everything, really everything you need, you can do through publishing. But in the beginning, it's mainly the writing tool, so you can create the title, the description, the outline, the content of the book. As I said, you can fact check it, proofread it, format it, export it, upload it. And we're also building a cover tool now. Not sure if the cover tool is ready at the launch, but we think so. The launch is in March, planned to be in March. And yes, so I think it will already be a revolution when we launch it in March, but over the next half year and year, I have a very good feeling that it will be a completely game changer if you have a tool like that. And that's why we're really excited to work on it. It makes a lot of fun. My main focus currently is the software, and I think it's a great product, and it's just a fun thing to build and really understand how a great book gets created by an in-depth process like the process we have behind PublishFlow. It's really complex, but it's interesting and it makes fun to develop it.
Yep, it's really fun and also mind-blowing. I'm the one developing the cover creation tool, and it's already in a usable state, and I started only creating my covers with this tool now, and it's the same version that will be implemented into PublishFlow. Sven, I see your question. I think that was pretty much answered on the further news on Tim's cover app integration to PublishFlow, as Andrey answered. I'm looking at PublishFlow. Can you explain the $199 flat fee? Is that a one-time fee or is that a per book project?
It's per book, so the most that you will pay is $199. We have different plans, so it will only get cheaper. But if you only buy one book, you want to create one book, that's planned to be $199. But also when you register now for the wait list, you will be part of the launch webinar. And when you be part of the launch webinar, we get the launch price, and the launch price will be significantly less than the $199.
I see a question or an answer from Sue. Smart strategic planning holding the live call on payday of royalties. Actually not planned, but now that I think about it, it's true. Does the book advocate using AI to generate the text within the book? I think advocate is maybe the wrong word here,
Yeah,
but
I would
it's
say so. As much as possible, you do what you think is right. If you're a writer, especially, and your strength is in writing, then use your own writing ability. If your strength is in the knowledge you have or in an expert's knowledge, then use that. And whatever strength you have, you use that. And then if AI can help enhance the experience that the reader will then receive when they read the book, then by all means, AI can definitely help with that. But it all depends on how you use it, how you use the tools.
another PublishFlow software related question. Where can I get this
But that's
multi-tool?
maybe to add that to Peter's
Oh,
point.
sorry.
I, for example, use AI, and that was the main reason why I started working on PublishFlow. One of my brands are travel guides, and to create a travel guide, I search for travel agent that lives in the country and works in the country where I write the book about. For example, if I write a book about an Italian, about Italy, so an Italian travel guide, I look for a person living in Italy and working as a travel agent there. And if they write the book, they take 6 months or longer. So it takes really long for them to write a book. But if I give them PublishFlow and the workflow behind PublishFlow, they can just use their knowledge and give it all their knowledge and feedback what the AI writes and recreate everything with the AI together. And then they can create an amazing travel guide that has all their expert knowledge in like 3 weeks. And that was the main reason why I had the idea for PublishFlow, because I used it for my own books with the travel guides. So if you use it that way, it's like a game changer because you save so much time and have a great book. And in my experience, a better book. I wrote one travel guide with a travel agent, and she took 9 months to finish the book. And the text is now worse than the new travel guides I create with travel agents who write the books together with the AI in our software, because the AI can just write better than these people, but they still have the expertise. So if you combine both, that what we also offer in PublishFlow, you can invite experts or freelancers to the software. You can create amazingly valuable books with it. That's what Peter said. When you use the tools correctly, if you use the AI tools with the right intentions and a focus of quality, then it's amazing what it can do.
Got a question. Can you share the waitlist details for PublishFlow, please? You can join the waitlist on the there's a link if you go to the answer tab in the Q&A. There's a link where you can find everything about the software, publishflow.ai, and yeah, that's the link. Where can I get this multi-tool? Same reply as before. Is there going to be a training course for this tool?
For PublishFlow or for the AI with the book? Sorry, I wasn't there for a second.
Maybe I can answer for the AI of the book. You will get a quick written information on how to use it. Regarding PublishFlow,
Yeah, regarding PublishFlow, there will be like a help center, and for each question that could be asked, we want to make a video. It's maybe only like 1 minute videos, a lot of them, but maybe 50 of them. So every question you have is solved. And we also have like a course that is structured step by step on how to use the software, so you can use it as efficiently as possible. So we have a course and a help page, and both cover how to use it as effectively as possible. That's very important for us. And it gets also updated consistently, of course.
I know that budgets can vary from person to person, but does the book include information such as the cost of creating a book? For example, does it explain the full process, including outsourcing, cover design, how much to invest in ads, A+ content, and similar expenses?
It covers specific numbers in that regard. That's a great question. I
I
can
think we
tell
had a
you.
lot of a lot of examples, but I don't think that you had for through the entire book you don't have, if you remember correctly, a price list. But in your examples, and you always share a strategy. I hope I don't tell something wrong, but I think you, from a lot of parts, you share multiple budget methods. So the same strategy with a low budget, then the same strategy with a medium budget, and the same strategy with a high budget. At least
Yeah.
for like book creation, you did that, yeah. If that was the question, I don't know if I understood the question correct.
Yeah, if your budget is really tight, luckily we do have so many tools, like I mentioned earlier, that can reduce the cost. And in terms of Amazon ads, I would not put a budget as a total amount. I would more so, if you have, let's say, only $300 to spend, yes, then maybe go in high bid, and testing a lot is not the best strategy. So then you want to be very specific with the keywords you select, go a little bit lower bid, and then see if it doesn't get traction, then you slowly increase the bids, and you start it slow. Because Amazon ads, we pay per click, so it's very efficient in that regard, that you can decide to only spend if you see that you're making a return on your investment in terms of ads. And in terms of the book covers, I pay usually $100. I think that's a little bit on the upper end now. If it's in the same series, I pay $50. And again, I've switched to an all designer process to now a designer that uses AI, which creates the designs much quicker. So I think if you want to, you can learn that process yourself and create great covers. In terms of book cover content creation, a tool like PublishFlow that Andrey is developing can also help reduce the costs of book production significantly while still maintaining quality.
Yeah, and what you can use now is Freepik. If you know Freepik, that's just one platform where you can use all the different AIs to then create images with it. It's not optimized for covers, so you need to tweak it, but you need to do that for all AIs. Either where you want to create covers. So the PublishFlow cover tool will be optimized mainly for book covers. That's the selling argument of it, why it's a great cover generation tool, but it's not published yet. It will take another 1 or 2 months before we launch. So if you want something now to create the covers, I can recommend Freepik. That's the best AI out there so far. I mean, it's not an AI, but it combines Ideogram, Sora, Nano Banana, all of them in one place.
I think regarding book, pretty much all the book questions. I see there are some more PublishFlow questions. Nice to see that you guys are interested in that. Does PublishFlow work well with low content books, journals, planners, etc.?
No, it's not at all built for that. It's completely built for high content books. High content books that you can write yourself, but also high content books where you need experts like a therapist, or in my example, a travel guide, so they can use their expertise to write a book faster for lesser cost. My first travel guide costed me $5,500 to create. Only the production cost for the book over 5K, and now all the other ones are way cheaper because they save so much time. Yeah.
I have a question. If there's an potential author, someone who's an expert in their subject matter, how much time do you think they would save just starting to write with PublishFlow?
It depends on the type of author. If you give it to George R. Martin, who writes The Song of Ice and Fire, Game of Thrones, I guess you still would take like 10 years to finish the book. No, it's not for fiction at all. It's for high content books. But if you do it all day, in theory, an author who wrote books before and is an expert at his topic, and he does it like 8 hours a day, he can create a book in a week in theory if he's fast and doesn't need. Yeah, even though if you need lots of changes, it's doable in a week. But if it takes 2 or 3 weeks, he can create an insanely great book in 2 or 3 weeks. And that's such a short period of time. In theory, if you just click through PublishFlow, you could create a book in like 2 hours. But that's not what we recommend. Of course, you need to also give the human touch to it. I mean, it's still a great book, but if you have an expert with his expertise, the book gets incredibly valuable if you combine both together, and it's such a time saver. But yeah, you could also, in theory, just generate it yourself, judge it yourself how it's written, and then you have a book in a day or two. Yeah, but for authors, I guess a week or two is enough to create a crazy good book.
Strength of the tool is also the fact checking.
Yeah, it has the writing step. Don't want to go too detailed into that, but it has 3 writing layers. And then at the end, if you send it to Zero GPT or some other AI detection software, it only has like 20% AI score, which is insane for a purely AI written book. And if the expert edits a little bit, for example, my tourist guides, they rewrite a few sentences or just change a little bit the structure of it. And if they do that, the score sometimes is 0. That of course also needs the human, but the only AI text often is around 20%. And that's no other AI can do that. At least not consistently. Maybe you get lucky with one text, but yeah.
I saw the question before. There was somebody saying, I've been using multiple AI tools. He also has his own custom GPT. How does PublishFlow differ? It was somewhere up in the Q&A. I think that pretty much summed it up. It's the multi-layer, step-by-step
Yeah,
approach.
I got that asked before, and it's a little bit like an insult, but I can understand the question. It's completely, it doesn't work at all like a custom GPT. It's first of all multiple AIs working together. It has feedback cycles you don't see as a user. It's for you as a user, it's very basic and simple, but in the background, so much things are happening to ensure the greatest quality. There's so much feedback loops and different AI working together. It's very complex. It's not at all a custom GPT, but I get the question in a way. Yeah.
Somebody else is asking, is it a big difference using Freepik compared to Ideogram generated covers? Freepik is basically a box in which you can use Ideogram. So Freepik just is like a, I don't know how the correct word is, like a studio, a place to use multiple different AI image generation tools.
Yeah.
But
The nice
Freepik,
thing is
yeah.
you can create, for example, with Ideogram, the base cover, and then select Nano Banana to fix issues, because Ideogram is bad in editing, but great at first concepts. You can create the first concept with Ideogram and then switch to Nano Banana, which is more expensive, but it's the most precise image AI that we have currently. And then you can edit the Ideogram image and get a great cover as an end result. That's why I like to recommend Freepik. But our cover software can do that and beyond, so you can look forward to that.
Somebody's asking, I think you said that we get the AI tool as a bonus for buying the book today. It's the AI tool you're getting. It's not PublishFlow. It's the tool trained on the book. I did purchase the book and wondering when you will send the email with the tool access right after this webinar. We finish this and I will send it to everybody who has submitted their order confirmation. Book-related question. The proven process of getting reviews from real customers, can they be used in every geolocation, specifically USA market? Yes, I think short answer. Um, Anna, I see your question there containing your email, and I took notes. Does the book contain anything related to trademarks and copyright? I find it quite painful to do this on different sites for different areas, US, Europe, etc. Are there ways to do it easier? Share it in the book.
I think one of the simplest ways, if you have access to it, is Bookbeam. I like checking trademarks there. Otherwise, US trademark search is where I usually check trademarks.
If I bring the book to London, will Peter sign it?
You need to remind me, but yes, of course.
We already in Las Vegas, we had the first version of the book that Peter gave to the Las Vegas attendees last year in October. And that was also signed, and he wrote like a note to all of us. That was really sweet.
True. Okay, guys.
I would have to go. Thanks all people for attending. Hope you enjoy the book. As I said, I read it and it's really great. I also had the honor to write the preface of it. So yeah, you can really look forward to that. And also thank you for all the interest into PublishFlow. I'm really grateful that so many people are interested in the tool I'm building. If you're interested, you can click on the link that Tim already shared in the Q&A tab under the tab Answered. And yes, you can look forward to the launch webinar in the middle of March. That's planned. We don't have a clear date. You will get the date sent if you are on the wait list, so join the wait list. And yeah, need to hop off. Thank you.
See you, Andrey.
Great to have you here.
Let's answer a couple last questions, and then I think we can cut it here. Andrey, I want you and Tim to sign it as well. I would be happy to. Have the honor to. When do we get the bonus, please, for the book? As soon as this webinar ends, I will prepare everything, send out the bonuses, collect all the people that submitted their order confirmation. Hope to see you in London. I hope to see you guys as well. I live in Stockholm. By any chance, I can get the book signed? Of course. You can, if you would come to the London Mastermind event we are hosting in April, you get the chance to get your book signed. There will also be other options to beat up at later Mastermind events. Are you all going to be in London? Yes. I think everybody, the whole team will be in London. Gerald will be in London. Andrey, Peter, me.
We have a lot of great publishers coming to London. Ian will be in London. We have, I think, one more from Sweden who's coming to London. At least two. So we have from all over the world, from the US, yeah. So it will be I think definitely the biggest event we've ever held, and I think the most interesting.
I agree. I know Amazon is adding new sub niches daily, how to create a new sub niche and dominate it instead of doing the research of already existing ones. I think that is also covered pretty well in the book, the whole niche research and positioning thing, finding gaps in the market, attacking these gaps. That one you could definitely also get answered through the book. Where's the sign-up form for London? I will reply to this message with the link to the London Mastermind. Give me 1 second. Okay. If you guys are interested in the London Mastermind, you can also now find the link on the Answer tab in the Q&A window. Why is everyone moving to Cyprus, but Peter is not? Peter was the first one. He's already living in paradise. Okay, guys. I think we can end it right here. It was great getting such so good interactions with you guys. I'm happy to see that you guys are looking forward to the book, the software. Any closing remarks, Peter?
No, it's been great. I've been enjoying the input from you and Tim and all the questions from you who has been attending. I also checked the YouTube live. It's great to see the chat there as well. And yeah, hope to see as many of you in London. Otherwise, we'll maybe meet some other time or in a school event or another live event like this. But I wish you the best of luck in your publishing journey. And whenever you get stuck, think about the fact that you're probably not the first one who is stuck with that problem. So the best way to solve it is to simply find another person who has solved the problem you're currently trying to solve. And that is usually the science to achievement, as Tony Robbins calls it. Just model success. It's the easiest path to get to your destination. Okay, that will do it. Thank you very much, everyone. See you in a future live or in London.
Very nice closing words. Maybe as a last reminder, the replay of this webinar, it will also be available on YouTube. We'll work on getting this uploaded as soon as possible tomorrow at latest. If you feel like you missed something. Thanks, guys. See you next time. Have a good one. Bye bye.
Bye bye.